Hi everyone, my name is Miranda, and I am just documenting and sharing how I have been working on stepping into my identity. And lately, I am statements has been huge. And I've done these off and on for a few years, but I just joined, my fitness coach who is leading me into healthy eating and um, what's her name is Robyn Wright, Faithfully Living Fit. She's amazing. I highly recommend her. I have done about every diet out there. Um, Learned a lot and just learned that, I want to be more healthy, um, more holistic. I've tried everything from Weight Watchers and counting points to, I think there was something called the Good Mood Diet, South Beach Diet. I did vegan for a little bit. So I've tried all these things and I had some success. But again, like I said in my last video, I think I felt like, oh, when I lose 20 pounds, then I'll feel good. Like, no, I just need to love myself for who I am. And as you step into your identity and believe and say every day, I am strong, I am healthy, I am fit, I make good choices. I want to live a long, healthy life so that I'm around for my kids. As you step into that identity, you then make choices that go along with that identity. So Robyn Wright and Faithfully Living Fit is amazing. She does a different approach, right? It's not about like a crash diet or anything like that. It's, of course, making healthy choices because what you put in your body matters. But I love the program she does. And, it's a little bit slower. And, at first I was like, oh my gosh, come on, I need to start feeling better. But I feel like sometimes the slower, and if you work on like one daily habit at a time, you actually will develop that habit. If you do a habit for a couple weeks or a month, and then you move on to the next. So I think the first one we did was eating until you're 80% full. And that was hard for me because I don't even always sit down and eat a meal. Sometimes I just snack throughout the day. But again, as you're doing these little habits, and actually I would say if you're not drinking 64 ounces of water a day, that should be number one. I'm really good. Ever since I did Weight Watchers, I'm really good about having water with me all the time. Now, sometimes I add things to it, so I would really try to do, just water. Green tea is probably okay, but really just water. And it's so refreshing. My kids always have their water out and they're always drinking it, which is just an awesome habit. But as you develop these habits kind of slowly, and then you keep adding on to that, it will, you'll develop that and kind of keep those longer, I feel like, rather than if you did like a fast or, like a 7-day detox or a sugar fast, not eating sugar every day. Like, I'm not going to go the rest of my life without sugar. Of course, you can limit it and things like that, but just kind of learning as I go. And Robyn has a Facebook group, accountability group, which is huge for me. I've always said I need accountability. So I love that about just these awesome Christian women, and just accountability is huge. And she had this challenge every day for a whole month. We said I am statements. We went live in the Facebook group and we said I am statements, for just a minute or a minute or so. And, again, I have all these I am statements. I can say, I am love. I am chosen. I am unique. I am an amazing mom. I am a beautiful wife. I am healthy. I am fit. I am strong. I can say all those, but you could tell the first couple days of the month, I was just saying them. I wasn't actually believing them. And, I could write them down, or I could just kind of say them as I think of them. But each day, the more I did that, I actually started believing it. And I would spend some time with God and, journal and kind of ask him, hey, who do you say? Who do you say I am? What do you say about me? And I would get my Bible out and look at the scriptures and really read them and really start to believe, his promises and what he says. And again, Robyn was in there leading, and you get to hear everybody else's, and it's just so powerful. And I made a really big decision this month, and actually this year. I feel like I've been making multiple big decisions. 2020 is definitely a interesting year, and I just think as I'm becoming, who God created me to be and walking in my new identity, I feel like there's like a leveling up. I was in a coaching program that turned out to be very toxic for me and just not something I wanted to be a part of. And I left that. And that was a big decision. I invested a lot of money in that. I met a beautiful amount of amazing people that, lifted me up and encouraged me and loved me. But again, there was a portion of it that just was not where I needed to be. So that was a big shift for me. And with that, my friendships changed. I had I kind of found a different tribe, a different group of, amazing Christian women to hang out with. So blessed to have, just stepped into that next kind of leveling up. And I really heard the Lord, like, I'm leveling you up. You are moving up in the world. You are ready for like that next level, and I really had to kind of believe that, because again, the lie I believe is I'm not good enough. I'm not worth it, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, but the I am statements, 31 days we did, and I started to believe them. And, you really like meditate on them. And I actually have an app. It's called I am. It was really powerful just to, every once in a while you can put a timer on and it'll show up. And so just reading those a couple times a day just fills your mind with, instead of focusing on maybe the fears you have or the worries or again, all the lies, you get to pick the voices that you're listening to, which has been huge for me. I have the Valuable Voices podcast that I do, which really is, first of all, I believe everybody has a story. And I really want people to realize how powerful their voice is and how powerful their story is, because most likely, well, absolutely, you sharing your story, somebody's going to be inspired by that. So that has been really fun and powerful to do, Valuable Voices. So if you want to be on that, I'd love to have you. You don't have to, somebody might think, oh, I'm not special enough. I don't have a story. Nobody's going to care. I promise you're going to inspire somebody. And it's really cool to give people a voice and to help them see that and encourage them and empower them. So that's been really fun to do. I started that this year. And it's kind of twofold. It's about making sure you're listening to the voices that are, again, empowering you, inspiring you, encouraging you. You get to decide what voices you're listening to, especially this year in 2020. Are you listening to the voices on the news, or are you listening to, again, the people that lift you up and inspire you? And for me, I had to make sure I was listening to God's voice, number one. That relationship is my number one. And I have grown so much in that. It's been such a blessing to just journal, to really hear him. So throughout the day, I'll hear his voice say, you're beautiful, or I'm so proud of you. Again, I'm words of affirmation. I talked about love languages in the last video. And again, I may not have people in my life telling me that all the time. So if I'm not telling myself that, and I'm not hearing the Lord's voice loud and clear tell me that, then something's got to change, right? And again, I get to be that. I've learned so much too, just about sharing with my kids and making sure I'm telling them, gosh, I love it. You have such a beautiful heart. I love when you do this, because you shine and you help people and all those things. So I am statements. Do it. It's awesome.